On the 150th episode of the HatTrick Sports Podcast, we're going to be talking about the sad, sudden, and tragic passing of NASCAR legend Kyle Busch. The NHL and NBA Conference Finals continue. The Teddy Bridgewater Act was signed into Florida law, and Aaron Rodgers announced his official retirement. Chris Taylor also retired for about 12 hours, and then we're going to be ranking the top 5 players with the lowest career ERAs. Make sure you use code HatTrick Sports when checking out at w.gg for 10% off your order. Roll it! Welcome to HatTrick Sports, starring your host, Isaiah Carpenter. Bringing you the biggest sports headlines every week. This is the HatTrick Sports Podcast. Okay, we are here filming episode 140 of the HatTrick Sports Podcast. We're going to get the sad stuff out of the way first. Kyle Busch, NASCAR legend, unexpectedly died on Thursday. He was brought to the hospital and a few hours later announced dead. Just like that, quick. 41 years old, has 2 kids and a wife. I'm not going to pretend like I'm a huge NASCAR fan. I watched the Indy 500 and the Daytona 500, and I probably know most of the drivers for NASCAR, but I'm not that into NASCAR. But Kyle Busch was definitely a household name. I mean, one of the greatest NASCAR drivers ever. 41 years old. He got a lot of hate, but he was a competitor. He was a very polarized racer driver for NASCAR, and it's either you loved him or you hated him. And I feel like even after his passing, you have to like acknowledge that he was a competitor. People hated him because of how good he was, and it's crazy to think about. It is crazy to think about. A few weeks prior, he had some like medical issues. The day before, he collapsed in a Chevrolet racing simulator in North Carolina on Wednesday and was coughing up blood and overheating before losing consciousness. So there was definitely something wrong with him. About a few hours, maybe a day after the announcing of Kyle Busch's passing, the family said that it was severe pneumonia, which led to sepsis, and ultimately your body just killing itself, which is crazy, which sucks and is crazy. Yeah, he was a 2-time NASCAR Cup Series champion. Passed away then. And yeah, it said that he had been dealing with what appeared to be a sinus cold at Watkins Glen on May 10th. So that's a couple weeks ago. And yeah, apparently he's just been dealing with a whole bunch of like immune sinus stuff, and his body basically killed himself, which is crazy. He won the Truck Series race last weekend, which was his last win. And what's the craziest thing about this whole situation is one of his last public quotes, one of the last videos of him talking. He had the quote. He said, "You never know when the last time is going to be, so cherish them all. Trust me." That gives you chills. That's one of the last things that he ever said in public. He holds the all-time record with 234 combined wins across NASCAR's top 3 series. He has 63 Cup Series wins, which is 9th all-time. He won the Cup Series championship in 2015 and in 2019. And they retired his number 8 car. So his number 8 car won't be driven until his son Braxton is old enough to drive in NASCAR. So I did a little bit of research, obviously, after his death. And his son's like really into NASCAR. I believe he's 11 years old, and it sounds like on the track that he's headed, he's going to be in NASCAR one day. And again, you don't want to put too much pressure on the kid to like be in NASCAR and live up to his dad's legend. Like, you can't live up to his dad, but if he decides to, he can ride with the number 8 on his car. All 39 cars in today's Coca-Cola 600 will carry a black number 8 decal in his honor, and they were honoring him in a few ways here in the Indy 500. Just shocking. It's out of nowhere, and it's nobody's fault. Like, you see different situations happening with deaths of athletes and stuff, and sometimes it's people's fault. Like, it was just unexpected. He was brought to the hospital the night before and died later that day or the next day. It's crazy to think about. Again, he has his wife Samantha and 2 children, Braxton and Lennox, I believe is how you pronounce that. Braxton, I know, is 11. I think Lennox is a little bit younger. It's just crazy. It's crazy how fast life can change and this can change. And the quote, just a wild quote from his last ever on-track interview. You never know when it's going to be the last to cherish it. Trust me. Crazy. It's absolutely crazy to think about. And just like that. And like I said, he was a very polarized driver. A lot of people hated him. A lot of people loved him. The hate was because he was a competitor. He wouldn't let anybody just pass him. Like he had to do something. And sure, he didn't appreciate the smaller wins. He always liked the bigger wins. But I feel like he embraced that villain kind of role that was placed upon him in NASCAR. And it's just crazy. He was born in 1985, 41 years old. Again, going to be a future Hall of Famer. You just got to feel for his family. It just sucks. Unexpected. Like, you don't go to the hospital thinking you're going to die from that. And then having sepsis. It's just crazy to think about. So that was the big headline of the week. And we're going to try to get it in a little bit of a more uplifting segment here with the NBA Finals. The NBA Conference Finals are happening right now. And the Knicks are absolutely destroying the Cavaliers. We're going to go into here. In Game 1, they won 115 to 104. That game went into overtime. And then in Game 2, they won 109 to 93. Game 3, they won 121 to 108. They won by 13 points last night. And the Cavs got to win 4 in a row. And they're going back and forth. They're going from Cleveland to New York to Cleveland to New York. It's going to be hard to win all 4. I think it's a very strong, I don't even know what the exact odds are, but it's very, very likely that the Knicks are going to end up beating the Cavs. And Jalen Brunson, you can thank a lot for that. He has had an incredible series. He has 29 points per game with 3.7 rebounds and 8.7 assists per game. Donovan Mitchell's also doing good, but the Cavs just can't catch up to... If they won Game 1, I feel like this would have been a different story. Even down 2-1 is feasible, but being down 3-0 is the worst lead in any sports series of all time. I mean, you don't often see somebody come back down 0-3. And, so they play Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. So the next time I film... The next time I film, we will be close to the NBA Finals, which is crazy. But it looks like the Knicks are headed to the NBA Finals. Where else were we? And then on the other side, you have the Thunder playing the Spurs. Now, the Thunder are up 2-1 against the Spurs. The Spurs took Game 1 and went into double OT. Incredible game, wild game. But they ended up winning 122 to 115 in double overtime. The Thunder were like, we are not taking that level of disrespect. We almost had you Game 1. We're going to take Game 2 and 3 from you. Winning Game 2, 122 to 113. In Game 3, 123 to 108. They play Game 4 tonight at 8 o'clock. And again, if the Spurs win, they are back in it. If the Thunder win, it's gonna be Thunder Knicks. I can't see the Spurs coming back down 1-3 against the Thunder in games 5, 6, and 7. So we'll see what happens. As of right now, it looks like it's going to be Thunder Knicks in the NBA Finals. I think everybody's had since a quarter of a way through the season, the Thunder winning it all. I'm surprised that the Thunder lost a game. I'm not surprised that the Thunder lost a game. But it's their only loss of the series, of the tournament so far. And it was just the Game 1 against... It was Game 1 against the Spurs, and the game that went into double overtime. So the NBA Finals, Game 1 starts on June 3rd, which is just a week and a half away. Excited to see what happens. I think the Thunder win it all. Thunder playing the Knicks, and then the Thunder win in 5 games. I feel like the Knicks can get a game off. The Knicks have had a semi-easy way to the finals. You know, they had to play the Hawks. They won 4-2. They swept the 76ers, and then now they might sweep the Cavs. We'll see what happens here on Monday, tonight and Monday, and I feel like by Monday we'll know who's it gonna be. And if the Spurs can come back down 3-1, maybe they tie it up. Now I'm just projecting that the Thunder are gonna win on tonight. But if the Spurs can come back, that would be a major upset. I've talked to a dozen people, 24 people about the NBA postseason and the NBA playoffs as a whole, and it's either Thunder or Spurs, and 90% of people say the Thunders, and then the lunatics think that the Spurs can somehow upset the Thunder. They just got lucky with the one game. They went into double overtime. Sure, they won by 7, but that was an incredible game. One of the best games, the best game in the NBA playoffs so far. We'll see what happens, but I'm excited to see. I think the Thunder win it all. SGA, a lot of people are hating on the Thunder. They're calling SGA a flopper. He's still incredibly good. The Thunder's team is incredibly good. What game was it? It was game 3. It must have been Game 3. Game 3, the Oklahoma City was down 15-0 to the Spurs to start off the game. 15 unanswered points, and then they came back, and by the end of the first quarter, they were close. It may have been just at the beginning of the second quarter, they overtook the lead, but they still ended up winning by 15, even though they were down by 15. So the Spurs, again, butterfly effect, I'm not going to play the what-if game, but the Spurs could have had a 30-point advantage, head start to the game, and the Thunder still would have won, which is crazy to think about. They're just that deep. They had 76 points off their bench in that game. We're talking about the Western Conference Finals. 76 points from the bench. They have an incredibly deep team, and they're going to go all the way. SGA's MVP. Sure, people are going to argue that it should have been Joker or Wemby, which is true. Like, I'm not saying SGA should have won the MVP, but he's still incredibly good. He's going to be a Hall of Famer, and the Thunder is just an incredible team. I can't say enough good stuff about the Thunder, and hopefully, I'm rooting for him. I'm rooting for the Thunder. Of course, the Dodger and Seahawks fans rooting for the Thunder, but I think that the Thunder will win it all. Now let's go on to the NHL playoffs. The Golden Knights are upsetting the Avalanche right now. The Avalanche are down 0-2 in a best of 4, or it's not a best of, in a best of 7 Western Conference Finals. The Avalanche, I thought, were going to win both the games. Nope, they lost the first game 4-2. They lost the second game 3-1. They play game 3 tonight at 8 o'clock. Again, by the time this comes out, depending on when it comes out, the game might have already happened. But the Avalanche have to win. I mean, we're going back to Vegas here. The first 2 games were in Colorado. What are you going to do if you can't win at home? You think you're going to win in Vegas? Luckily, it's not too far apart, but still, that doesn't matter. You're talking about the fans, you're talking about the noise, the rink. Like, your ice better than the Vegas ice. It's going to be a struggle for the Avalanche to come back. They're the 1 seed. They're at the beginning of the postseason, I thought they were the equivalent of the Thunder. I thought they were going to be untouchable, but here they are down 2-0. We'll see if they can come back. They play Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday. They just got to get to Thursday. If they can get it to Thursday, if they can win one of these next 2 games in Vegas, and then win Thursday's game, they have a chance. It's early. We've seen plenty of teams come back from down 0-2 in a best of 7, but it's going to be a little struggle for them. And then they will have to play. Lost it there. They will have to play either the Canadiens or the Hurricanes, which that series is tied at 1 right now. Game 3 is on Monday, going to Canada. So they'll be heading back to Montreal for a couple games. This is actually a close matchup. Game 1, the Canadiens blew out the Hurricanes, winning 6-2. Game 2, Hurricanes barely beat the Canadiens 3-2. Hold up, where am I at? I think the Canadiens end up winning this series and end up playing either the Avalanche or the Golden Knights, which, again, I still feel like the Avalanche can come back. I just feel like it's going to be a little hard for them. But if the Avalanche come back, I feel like they can beat the Canadiens. And same with the Golden Knights. If the Golden Knights can beat the Avalanche, I feel like they shouldn't have a problem beating the Canadiens. So I feel like the west side of the bracket is definitely a little stronger than the eastern side of the bracket right now. We'll see what happens. We still have another few weeks left for the Stanley Cup Finals. It's exciting. It's exciting time for sports. I like how the NBA and NHL align their schedules a little bit. Because summer can be a little bit boring with sports. There's not a lot of sports on, especially after these playoffs. But these playoffs definitely build up to that somewhat boring summer where it's just baseball, and then baseball takes a week off, then you have nothing. That's always a fun podcast to film the week after zero sports. But yeah, let's go into the NBA a little bit. Aaron Rodgers officially announces his retirement. He says, he acted like he said it before, but he said, yes, this is it. After this season, Aaron Rodgers is done. Is it really? Is it not? I don't know. He might need to go to a cave to think about it a little bit more. It's Aaron Rodgers. He can change his mind whenever he wants. But he confirmed Wednesday that 2026 is going to be his final season. This will be his 22nd year playing in the league. He's going to turn 43 years old in December. And he said that he thought that his Pittsburgh career was over when Mike Tomlin resigned after the wild card loss. Again, did Mike Tomlin resign? Is he still part of the franchise? He just can't coach for a year. Still one of the weirdest coaching situations in the NFL. But Rodgers actually suggested to Omar Khan, who's the GM of the Steelers, that McCarthy should be interviewed for the head coach job. Obviously, Mike McCarthy got the job, but it's cool to see like Aaron Rodgers and Mike McCarthy finishing out their career together because, I mean, for years they were together. He said, Aaron Rodgers said that he sat in McCarthy's first 8 a.m. meeting and felt like a 22-year-old back in Green Bay. It's good to see the full circle kind of moment coming back together and Aaron Rodgers finishing his career with Mike McCarthy, reuniting with Mike McCarthy. He also said, which is a little weird, Rodgers said that he believes the Steelers were close last year and likes the pieces they added. They weren't. They go 9-8 every year, Rodgers. I get it. You're new to the team. You don't know a whole lot about the Steelers. You guys weren't close. You guys did what everybody expected. The same thing's going to happen this year. Again, new coach. Maybe it was Tomlin's fault. Maybe McCarthy and Rodgers can do something special. Highly doubt it. But we'll see. I kind of like the change for the Steelers. Talking to some Steelers fans yesterday, I like the little change for the Steelers because what's the definition of insanity? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. They had to change something. I mean, you look at the wins with Mike Tomlin. It's just a straight line. Sure, he hasn't gone a season under 500. It's been one game over for his entire Steelers head coaching career. Now, career-wise, Aaron Rodgers is phenomenal. He's 5th all-time in passing yards with over 66,000, 4th all-time in passing touchdowns with over 500, and 6th in QB wins with 163. There's only one person with more MVPs than Aaron Rodgers, and that is the Indianapolis Colts' Peyton Manning. He has 5. Rodgers has 4. And, this announces his farewell tour. This is going to be Rodgers' farewell tour with Mike McCarthy. 9 wins. That's what they're going to get. They're going to get they're going to get between 8 and 10 wins. And that's what it is every year. I don't think it was really a coaching thing. I think it's a lot with the front office as well. We'll see what Aaron Rodgers can do in his farewell tour in his last year in the NFL and with the Steelers. A little bit of more NFL news. You could call it NFL news. But Florida signed the Teddy Bridgewater Act. So if you guys are unaware, in 2024, Teddy Bridgewater won like the 3A state championship for high school football with Northwestern High, Miami Northwestern. The next season got suspended because it was put out. He kind of like admitted that he spent a whole bunch of his own money to help players with meals and transportation and recovery and stuff like that, which I'm all for. Like, I get it. There are certain people within high school sports that agree with it. There are certain government people that are against it for it. I don't know. I'm kind of mixed. I feel like there should be a threshold, but I feel like coaches should be allowed to use their own money to, not with recruiting. I hate the high school recruiting, but I feel like with food, transportation, and recovery, like the high school coaches should be allowed to give significant amount of money to their players. But Florida signed the Teddy Bridgewater Act into law on Friday, obviously named after NFL QB who coached the Miami Northwestern high school team to a state title in 2024. Like I said, Bridgewater was suspended in 2025 season after revealing he personally paid for meals, rides, treatments for his player. And this new law, this is just in Florida, allows head coaches to use their own money to help players with food, transportation, physical therapy, and rehab, but it is capped at $15,000 per team per year, and it must be reported to a state agency and cannot be used for recruiting. I'm fine with this. So this was unanimous. This was unanimous in the Florida House and Senate in support of it. And Florida also signed a separate bill allowing school boards to raise coach salaries using booster club donations, because currently head coaches in Broward County, which is where Bridgewater is coaching, was averaging just $3,000 a year, while there are some coaches in Georgia right across making over $100,000 a year. So I do like the idea of paying the coaches a little bit more with donations, with booster club donations. I like the idea of a cap. I like the idea of coaches still being able to provide for their team and their players, because I feel like Teddy Bridgewater is just trying to give back to his community, trying to restore my community. And you can't blame the guy. I mean, Teddy Bridgewater's trying to do the right thing. He admitted to doing the right thing, got in trouble for doing the right thing, and now they made a law about doing the right thing. So, again, I kind of agree with this law in Florida. I think that I do feel like that there'll be more coaches kind of paying. But, again, most coaches, a lot of coaches in Florida athletics in general, in high school athletics in general, are like teachers. Like, they usually work out of the school, so they can't give $15,000 just to their team like that. Like, Teddy Bridgewater's a different situation, but good for Teddy Bridgewater making a change, trying to restore my community. And yeah, just a little local Florida news for you there. That's been like in talks for years now, but it was officially signed into law on Friday. Let's talk about the MLB. Chris Taylor retired for about 12 hours. He announced his retirement on Friday, and 12 hours later, he came back to the Angels AAA with his broken left wrist. He fell to retirement. 12 hours later, resurrected back into the Angels AAA organization, about 12 hours apart. Chris Taylor, incredible utility man for the Dodgers. In 2017, I believe he won the NLCS MVP. Mr. Clutch. I mean, he was a clutch utility guy forever. Sure, now later in his career, he kind of sucks, and there wasn't really a spot for him with the Dodgers, but every Dodgers fan will always love Chris Taylor. He got DFA'd, signed by the Angels, got sent down by the Angels, got hit by pitch in the left wrist, broke his left wrist. There's no time of when he's going to be coming back, but it was like if Good Friday and Easter were 12 hours apart. You know what I mean? He fell into retirement, and then 12 hours later, he came back to professional baseball. Like I said, he's been with AAA, the Salt Lake Bees, in the Angels system. He was hitting .255 with 7 doubles, 15 RBIs in 32 games before the injury. He has no timeable for return, but expected to play again this season. He's a 2-time World Series champion. He's with the Dodgers in 2020 and 2024. Should have been 3-time, but the Astros had trash cans in their dugout. Yeah, he spent 10 seasons with Los Angeles with the Dodgers. Great 10 years. I love that era, the 2017 era of Dodgers. I was talking to somebody on last week, 2 weeks ago, about the Dodgers. I mean, even the guys like Logan Forsythe, you had Matt Kemp. I mean, I could go on and on about this. Yasmani Grandal, Hyun-Jin Ryu, Yasiel Puig, D. Gordon. D. Gordon was a little earlier than that, I guess, but that era of Dodgers will always stick in every Dodgers fan's heart. So with the Dodgers, he played over 1,000 games with a .761 OPS, over 100 home runs. The 2017 and 2021 NLCS, absolutely on fire. He had 3 home runs in Game 5 of the 2021 NLCS with the Dodgers against the Braves. Can we see another Braves-Dodgers NLCS matchup this year? It's looking like it. And then was one of the best postseason performers. He's kind of like Kike Hernandez. Again, he kind of fell off a little bit, but very much like Kike Hernandez. He played in 80 playoff games. That's actually a crazy stat. He played in 80 playoff games. But yeah, let's go over MLB standings here. We're, just a couple months into the MLB season. In the AL East, not much has changed from last week, except the Yankees got a little worse. The Yankees are 4-6 in the last 10 games and now fall 5.5 games back from the Rays. Rays are taking this division and not coming back with it. They are 34-15, incredible team right now. Most wins in the league. Actually, no, I take that back. The Braves have the most wins in the league. But the Rays absolutely on fire. You have the Blue Jays, 10.5 games back. Red Sox, 13 games back. Orioles, 13 games back. Orioles, Red Sox, Blue Jays, probably not going to make it very far this season. In the AL Central, this division sucks. The Guardians are 31-23. They're 3.5 games ahead of the White Sox, 26-25. Then you have the Twins, 5 games back. Royals, 9 games back. Tigers, 10 games back. Tigers got to do something. I've heard a lot of rumors about Tarek Skubal going to the Dodgers. Now, I wasn't planning on talking about this, but I'm going to talk about this. Tarek Skubal's going to go to the Dodgers this season. In the winter meetings, it sounded like it was a done deal. You could hear the podcast a few months ago. They were like, hey, winter meetings, this is a done deal. Tarek Skubal's going to go to the Dodgers. The Dodgers, I don't know what happened with that, but the Dodgers could use Tarek Skubal. The Dodgers have one of, if not the biggest trade piece in all of the MLB, and his name's Dalton Rushing. You can't fit Dalton Rushing into the Dodgers lineup, but he's incredible. Absolutely incredible. The Tigers could use a catcher. They could use Dalton Rushing. The Dodgers, who have some guys that are made of glass, they could use another starting pitcher, put Emmett Sheehan down in the bullpen. Tigers, you get Dalton Rushing, we get Tarek Skubal. You guys are in the AL Central. You got to try to do something. Dalton Rushing can get fans in seats. I understand that's Tarek Skubal's job right now, but right now nobody's coming to watch him. Tarek Skubal, come your way to LA. He's from Southern California. He knows he wants to. And again, it was a done deal. I thought it was a done deal. Everywhere was saying that Tarek Skubal to the Dodgers, done year, winter meeting. After day one, a week after winter meetings, nothing ended up happening. But right now, the Tigers are 20-32 with this guy who's a huge trade piece for them. You want Emmett Sheehan too? Take him. I'm not a fan of Sheehan. Take Dalton Rushing, Emmett Sheehan. You can take some of our prospects. We'll give you some money too. Let us keep Skubal. Skubal knows he wants to go to the Dodgers. It's not a surprise to anybody. It's not a secret from anybody that Tarek Skubal wants to go to the Dodgers. The Tigers, I thought were going to try to make a run this year, but they just keep falling back. They're 1-9 in the last 10 games. They're 7-20 in away games, 13-12 at home games, 10 games back. You guys aren't making the playoffs. You guys might as well try to get something out of it. Don't waste Tarek Skubal's career. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see what the Dodgers can do with Tarek Skubal, because I firmly believe that Tarek Skubal is going to head to the Dodgers here soon. And they're going to get it cheaper than if they had it in winter meetings. If they traded for Tarek Skubal in the winter meetings, it would have been more expensive than if they trade for him now. We'll see what happens. But in the AL West, actually, this is the worst division. You have one team that's at 500, and it's the Athletics, the Sacramento Athletics. Their nickname is the Ball Sack, and you're letting them be first in this division, who has plenty of good teams. They are 26-26. The Mariners are a game and a half behind that. The Mariners have the guys. I get it. Cal Raleigh's not having the season that he had last year. I get it. They have plenty of guys. They have plenty of guys. They have plenty of pitching. It's just not coming together. But yeah, the Rangers are tied with the Mariners right now, game and a half back. The Astros, man. The Astros last season started off struggling too. The first 3-4 weeks of the season, the Astros were terrible. Ended up finding a way to somewhat come back. You can't be terrible for much longer. I get it. You have injuries. You have guys going down. Framber Valdez just got taken out the other day. I get it. It's a struggle for the Astros right now. You got to find a way back. You just have to. You're the Houston Astros. You always find a way back. Like, I get it. The injuries aren't helping, but come on. And then the Angels are 7.5 games behind the Athletics as well. Angels, there's been talks about Mike Trout being traded. It's not going to happen. I want to think it's going to happen. It's like Clayton Kershaw, the rumors about him going to the Rangers. It's not going to happen. Baseball fans just have to accept that Mike Trout isn't going to win a World Series, which sucks. He deserves to win a World Series. He's one of the greatest baseball players of all time. Top 5, top 10 of all time. But yeah, when we're 53 games into the season and you don't have 20 wins yet, you got to do something. Now, in the National League, you have the Braves. The Braves, the best team in the league. Scary. As a Dodgers fan, the Braves are kind of scary right now. They had one down year. It's like the Chiefs last year. The Chiefs and Braves just had a down year or two. But But yeah, the Phillies are 9.5 games behind the Braves and in second place in the NL East. Nationals half game behind that. Marlins 2 games behind that. And then the Mets, the second highest payroll in the MLB. The Mets, they're the cool kids. They tried it like, hey, look, we have these guys. We have Bo Bichette. We have Juan Soto. We have the biggest contract in MLB history. Look at us. We're going to win. Nope. Last place, 13.5 games back, just 52 games into the season. I don't get where the Mets are getting their money from. I don't. I honestly don't. They have some guys. They have some really good guys, some future Hall of Fame guys. It sucks. I mean, I'm a Dodgers fan, and it sucks seeing the Mets suck. I want to see them do well. And then in the NL Central, pretty strong division right here. No teams under 500. You have the Brewers, who are facing the Dodgers right now. They're at 30-19. Dodgers just beat them last night, 11-3. You know, they started off the game 3-0 first inning, maybe second inning. Dodgers come back, 11 unanswered runs. Yep, that's what the Dodgers do. 2 games behind them are the Cardinals, half game behind that, Cubs. Then you have the Reds and Pirates. And then in the NL West, you have the Dodgers, 32-20. A half game behind them are the Padres. The Padres are fighting. They're fighting for the Dodgers right now. It's those two. Those two are really going to fight it out. The Dodgers and Padres are really going to fight it out here in the next few months. Hopefully, the Dodgers can gain their distance, but, the Diamondbacks are 4 games behind the Padres, and then the Giants and Rockies just lost causes. The Rockies are a lost cause. But, hey, at least they have 20 wins, unlike the Tigers. The Tigers, unlike the Angels. Tigers do have 20 wins too. That's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. The Rockies are. It's embarrassing. You get secondhand embarrassment from being in a division with the Rockies. Like, of course you guys are winning the NL West. You have the Rockies in your division. Like, all right. But the Dodgers have been on fire. They were in a little bit of slump, but now they're hot again. All right, let's move on to the top 5 players with the lowest career ERA. This is a minimum of 1,500 innings. In fifth place, you have Jim Palmer. He had a 2.86 earned run average in his career. He had almost 4,000 innings pitched. He pitched from the time he was 19 to the time he was 38 in over 550 games. Let's see over here. He played Orioles legend. I mean, he played for the Orioles from 1965 to 1984. Incredible. Jim Palmer. At number 4, you have Dodgers legend Sandy Koufax with the 4th lowest ERA in MLB history with a 2.76 ERA over 2,300 innings. He retired somewhat young. He retired when he was 30, but already cemented himself in the Hall of Fame. Like I said, Dodgers legend, both in Brooklyn and in Los Angeles. He had 165 career wins, 9 saves. I didn't even know he had saves. His batting average against was 205, which is incredible, especially for that time. But, Sandy Koufax, legend. Number 3, you have Whitey Ford. Whitey Ford had a 2.75 career earned run average and over 3,000 innings pitched. He played for the Yankees. Where's the stat I was looking for? I thought I had the stat highlighted. But, his career record was 236 to 106 with 11 saves. He started 138 games. Number two all-time ERA leader. You have Hoyt Wilhelm. He had a 2.52 career ERA, pitching over 2,200 innings. He pitched when he was old, though. Sandy Koufax retired at 30. Hoyt started his career when he was 29 and didn't finish till he was 49. This was between the years of 1952 and 1972. He had like a little closer of a win-loss ratio. He won 143 games, lost 122, allowed 1,700 hits, his strikeout percentage was 17.6, but the lowest career ERA in MLB history with a minimum of 1,500 innings pitched was Clayton Kershaw with a 2.43 earned run average, pitching 2,333 innings from the time he was 20 to when he just retired at 32 last year. I already miss him. He had a win-loss percentage of 697. he had a 27.5 strikeout percentage. How many Ks did he have in his career? I thought I knew the exact number. Where's it at? I guess not. But, yeah. Absolute legend, future first ballot Hall of Famer, one of the best to ever do it, one of the best lefties to ever do it, Clayton Kershaw. And those are your top 5 lowest career ERA pitchers. All right, that is going to do it for the 150th episode of the HatTrick Sports Podcast. Make sure you guys follow on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. Go to shop@HatTrickSports.com, get the best merch around. Listen to us wherever you listen to podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Podbean, YouTube for all the visuals. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and whatever else I didn't say. Just follow us everywhere. Use code HatTrick Sports for checking out w.gg. And come back next week for episode 151.